and then you sit there and watch the corn grow.
Wait, there's cornfield?
Oh, we do something
There's
similar.
corn?
Talk alongside the corn with control tank view and watch the corn grow.
There we go. See connections between state lines.
Tough as nails over here, because it's really cold and all our professional sports teams suck, so we can't be hurt by anything.
I like what the other farmers do. Get drive beside the cornfield and light it on fire. Instant popcorn.
Let's avoid fire. I'm off shit.
I didn't think we were setting this place on fire. I just said farmers do that and they did some popcorn. They set their cornfield on fire.
Can we please not have another fire?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't say here!
No.
Are you all deaf?
Mostly, yes.
I have a dairy farm where we did dove hunting. So to attract doves to our fields, we would plant a field of wheat, cut it down, light it on fire because all the brush and stuff was blowing up, but the seeds wouldn't. So the birds would come attracted. So I know how to attract it.
Good deal. Oh. Hey, I'll have you know, I may have a beak, but I am an obligate carnivore. I eat the doves.
Even better.
What you're talking about, that stuff is what my food eats.
Oh, you don't like oats? No.
No, bird of prey. Alrighty.
Alright, would you like to hear my real name or my Griffin name?
Any
Up
of
to
you.
you.
We don't judge.
I name.
Alright, I guess I'll do my Griffin name. People online call me... My online username is King Siamo, but people call me Siamo.
Hi,
Siamo.
And fun fact about me, I once listened to Babseed for 13 hours straight, non-stop. I wish I was joking.
The show people would be crying with joy right now. If she were here.
That sounds traumatizing, but wonderful.
Well, it's not. It's a literal earworm.
That is fair.
As a musician myself, when I got into the pony fandom like about 2 years ago, I first was introduced from a Friday Night Funkin' mod, but then when I tried looking up one of the songs that sounded pretty good, I accidentally misclicked and then listened to the actual Babseed, and then that got stuck in my head, and then I fell in love with the Cutie Mark Crusaders, and then boom, suddenly I'm in the fandom.
Which crusade is your favorite?
Oh, that's difficult. I'd probably have to go with Apple Bloom, honestly. But
I say Sweeterville is good.
That's sweet.
But then after a little while, I decided, hey, I'm going to watch the MLP movie. But then I decided to watch the MLP Gen 5 movie, and now I'm suddenly a Gen 5 enthusiast.
I'm sorry.
Did you see the Gen 104 movie?
I haven't watched the Gen 4 movie yet. I've been meaning to do so for the longest
Anybody see the
time.
Gen 1 movie at least?
No.
I've
There was a
seen,
panel of it yesterday, people!
I've seen clips of the Gen 1 movie. Mainly like...
Are you talking about Rescue from Midnight Castle?
Let's
No, it's called My Little Pony, the movie.
Oh,
And that's in the 80s.
the Smoos and the Hillbillies.
Yeah. The Smooths and the Witches, yeah.
Alright, well let's go ahead and get started with the reason that we actually came here.
We have a problem.
Open mic. So,
Wait, this isn't therapy? There's no mic.
yes, this is therapy. Yeah, congratulations.
We all have a problem. We don't have enough ponies in our life.
Yeah, this is Ponies Anonymous. This is where we talk about our addiction to ponies and how it has affected our life. I'll go ahead and start off. So what I want to do, I want to change it up this year compared to last. What we've done in the past is we just let people talk about how it's affected their life, but to keep it so that everybody gets a good chance to talk, what I'd like to do is I'd like to go in the circle like we already have been. Now it's just practice to get into the system, and each person will tell you, will say one thing of one effect that My Little Pony has had on your life. And once we come to the end, we can go around, you can say another thing of how it's affected your life. Let's keep it flowing nice and good, that way everyone gets a chance to talk. If we need to take a little breaking point and we all want to talk about a certain topic, then for sure we'll go ahead and do that. This is a very loosely run panel, as you can probably tell. I mean, we're here to talk. We're here to talk about our addiction to ponies. We're here to talk about how friendship and horses and Pinkie Pie and Twilight and all those other pastel, colorful joyous little creatures have made our life better.
And Misty too.
Misty is pretty, she's a horse. Misty is a horse.
What,
Truer things cannot have been done.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and start off with an easy one. Come on, easy.
I've not had enough coffee.
I haven't had any.
Be,
I'm running off.
just be
I'm running
joyous
off
for the
of love
week.
right now.
Mine.
All right, so let's see, one way that the fandom has affected my life. Well, I have met many a wonderful, cool person. For example, this scary deer right here. You know those scary dog privilege cosplay videos. They're like this. They have a girl walking by in a cute little cosplay, and then her boyfriend or whatever, or her buddies just walking behind them in some terrifying outfit. Yeah, well, that's my scary deer privilege. But anyways, going on topic, I have gotten to meet some of the most wonderful and cool people in my entire life through this fandom. I mean, the connection made across state lines, across country lines. Heck, Butter right here flew in from Dallas, Texas, just to be here to meet all of you wonderful people, and definitely not for me, as Butter has said many times. But yeah, there's one cool thing.
That's so sweet of you.
Thank you.
That's so sweet of you. You took exactly what I was going to say. I met you through HarmonyCon.
Mm-hmm.
That's my little pony.
That it is.
HarmonyCon was my first convention I've ever actually went to. HarmonyCon 2018, I think.
Mhm.
First one I went to. Met you in 2022?
24 this year.
24? Met you in 24. But yeah, I mean, without that, I wouldn't have been here. Wouldn't have came to Ohio. Wouldn't have met everyone in this room. Wouldn't be sitting right here. So I appreciate everyone in here. I love My Little Pony for it. That's the reason we're all here.
For myself, my whole life I really did not know where I fit in. I kind of been wandering around for the last, 16 some, 18 years, and I couldn't find a place. I always felt out, but I stepped into this fandom and something clicked, finally. It took a while, but it clicked, and I finally found not just my people, but my place. First con I ever went to, Sequestria Fest 2023, and I was a completely different person. You see me on the street anywhere else, I'm silent, quiet, I'm chilling by myself, and the moment I stepped into that con, it's like everyone I've known for years. So I definitely think I found my place in my people.
That's what it's about right there, isn't it? Acceptance, love, kindness. Pony cons are one of the only places in the world where you can walk up to a complete stranger that you've never met before and be like, horses, right? Horses. You're like, give me a hug. And then you get a hug. Thank you, I appreciate it. Go ahead.
For me, what the fandom brought was it helped me come out of my introverted shell, basically. Now, granted, I'm still a little introverted. I still have a little bit of Fluttershy in me.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. But for the longest time, I got into the fandom around into season 2, start of season 3. I was very kept it hidden, really didn't talk about it online, really didn't interact with it. Eventually, one day, I managed to work up the courage to be like, you know what, I enjoy this thing, why don't I just go to BronyCon? And it was the most satisfying thing I could have ever done. I was able to talk freely, meet so many people, have so much fun, and I still do to this day. And looking back, I'm like, why was I so worried? Why was I so nervous? This is something that we all love and enjoy. Why can't I enjoy it?
Exactly. Alright, you're next. Yep.
Well, I joined the fandom back in about late-ish 2013, like sometime between seasons 3 and 4. And I heard about it from a friend I used to play with on Xbox back in the day. I'm like, what is that stuff?
Horses?
One day I was curious, saw it on the hub, back when I was playing. I'm like, I'll see what all the excitement's about. Well, the whole episodes 1 and 2 were showing, so it's like, I'll check it out. And then suddenly I was season 8.
Yeah.
Fandom has really kind of brought out my love of music. And, like, I always liked music, just, same as anyone else did. But I feel like it really drew out, like, the passion for it. And that's just been really like, strong part of my life ever since.
I'm glad that I'm glad that you're able to find something that was missing in yourself in this fandom. I mean, I'm sure everyone knows and went through the same thing you went through. You're like, oh, okay, I'll watch a couple of episodes. And then I swear, ponies are more addictive than like cigarettes or cocaine or whatever. It's terrible. You get one little taste. All it was for me was a music video, Daddy Discord. That one, I want to say it's like a 1.5 minute, 2-minute video. That was all it took, and then here I am, 11, 12, however many years later.
Pinky's
And
welcome
I have
song
a
and
I have a crippling horse addiction. It gets all of us, but that's what we're here to talk about, right? Only difference is we're not trying to quit.
Playing such players.
Alrighty. Do you want to talk or do you want to observe? You in the back. Yes, you. Yes, you. Let's look inside. Yeah, with the awesome sailor cap. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Talk. This is about the beginning of the entry in the fandom, right?
It doesn't have to. You just talk about a way that the fandom has affected you.
Introduce
yourself
first.
Yes, like it.
Yeah, go ahead and say your name and then.
Hello, everybody. I'm a bit gamer.
Hi, gamer.
And I'm a brony. Yeah. So I started off, I guess, I heard that whisper of like people that liked a show called My Little Pony. That's all right. But it's like, who's liking it? What guys are liking it? Grown-up guys are liking it.
Horses, rules.
Yeah, that was like when I was like playing just like Call of Duty back in its really good days. But I was a curious sort because I was like I just didn't take things on space value. I wanted to learn exactly what goes on in here, and kind of good enough for me is like I live close enough to New York City, and one of like the starts of actually like broniedom happened back there, and I was in 2011 going out to my first brony meetup out there in the city, which had a combination of like all the older folks who liked, of course, the older generations of My Little Pony, and then also the newer generation, which of course we knew G4 for the time being. So I got to meet a whole lot of people and talk, but I also was taking a lot of pictures. I liked taking pictures back then. And that came up part of me recording a little bit of what was the start there, and it moved on to I guess this is cool, and then I was like, you know what, let's go see some of this convention business, and that was also the time when BronyCon moved out of the city into Jersey for the Meadowlands Convention Center.
And that's how BronyCon was made.
No, it was made in Little Italy, in a little restaurant that we could not fit all the people in.
So you were there. So
You were
you're
there.
like one of the founding fathers.
No, Foley, he was part of one of the founding fathers. They founded, but yes. But back then, I was just around just to hang around, just not to organize and whatnot, just to talk and just have a little bit of fun. And what it turned out, time and time again afterwards, like, oh my god. You know what I think it really triggered, it cracked me, was that day at the Meadowlands BronyCon when I got to meet with Tara Strong. And I became the troll brony. Yeah. She was still amazing. She was fun. She was charismatic, and just like meeting her, and also like just because I knew how many voices she did. She still had so much contribution for like everything else that has happened to that point. Like I know you for so many series that you've been part of. Like, you know, I gushed at that point. Like I was still young. I was still young. Like coming from back to that point, and I think after there, and then also after the fire. Because there was a fire there, I was there for it. I actually recorded a little bit of it. And then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna peace out for right now. Everybody was left at the convention. It's like, after that point, it's like, you know what, I'll make a commitment to go see some more bronies and get some more fun times. And it kind of just continues spiraling upward, downward. It ended up with me continuing to be known as a photographer. Then people thought that I was an organizer, and then I started organizing stuff, and then suddenly I get ringed into organizing a convention. If anybody remembers PonyCon NYC.
Ooh.
It's the pony convention that stayed in New York City and didn't leave New York.
Until it died.
Had a wonderful run with some amazing people that were part of that organization. And I think of those as really some of the greatest times I've had. And here I am now, still traveling and with my friends and making new friends. I like that. But I see that the fandom's still here. It's still alive. It's got new people in it, and I love it still for what it means to be open and tolerant of other people's differences, but also be welcoming just to introduce new ideas to each other. And I keep that as the core value, and I organize meetups in New York City, and it brings still people together. And I know even out here in the world, everybody has their own meetups, and then conventions is like the biggest conglomeration of just like love and energy and just all feel ground good stuff. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I have a crippling life addiction.
I actually know him basically through the brony, actually for
Holding it.
Hello, my name's Nelson, but on the internet people know me as Noodles without the C. I don't really make pony. I'm not really a pony content creator, but the only ones I contribute to it was being in Bronies Reacts for I think the episode where Weird Al Yankovic was in, and I also was the one that made Grimdark Brony, which was a rap song that was made dedicated to a lot to creepypasta ponies, because back then I was extremely obsessed with those things. Even got a real interest in playing Luna games. I watched a lot of like Let's Players of it. I organize meetups with him at Bronies NYC. We have fun times. Yeah, I think that's about it.
I'm glad to hear that there's still a Brony NYC meetup. I've obviously never been there.
No,
I'm from Tennessee. It's a little bit of a drive for me.
We just actually had a Coney Island meetup just the week before Trotcon. You know, Coney Island, classic, beautiful, always a great time, and also of course anything goes at Coney Island.
Oh no. That sounds like a wonderful time. Hey, both of you, thank you so much for opening up and talking. I appreciate it. Alrighty.
Well, back when I was 12, of course, I was in that phase that we've all been through. Just didn't know myself, didn't know where I fit in, and back before Pony, I was listening to a lot of Skillet. I guess that was kind of setting me up for the direction that I was going to be later. You know, some of those songs were kind of helping me with what I was going through. But the one song, I'm sure we've all heard it, Monster, was the one that was hitting real hard, because there was a point where I really started to become one. Long story short, I lived a very sheltered life. My mom would not let me go out at all due to the medical history. She was just afraid that something would happen to me, so I never had a childhood, I never got to grow up. And it all just got bottled up, you know, and I started taking it out on my brother. doing awful stuff like pinning him against walls and hitting him in the back or whatever. And then finally, it just happened to be on one day. Applebuck season, I believe, was the very first episode I ever seen. It was the only thing moving in the entire room, so I was like, whatever, fine, I guess I'll watch it. Nothing else happened, so then it took off from there, obviously, and it showed me that the two things I was missing in my life, friendship and, well, freedom. I got to see these 6 friends traveling and doing things and defeating foes and solving their little problems and arguments that they had with one another. It's like, this is what I need. Why don't I have this? So my whole quest growing up, I was trying to figure out, how do I get this? What else am I missing? And as time moved on, I became a better person. I was able to learn to suppress my anger, put it back, find ways to take out healthy, like, with creativity and stuff. I'm known for doing paint jobs in Forza Horizon 5, so that's one method I use to kind of keep everything at bay. And here I am, 12 years later, 24 years old, and I've made lots of friends. I've traveled a lot of places. I've grown up significantly. I'm not that awkward person I once was. I'm making an effort to be a part of the community, see where I fit in, see just how many creative things I can do. I'm trying to make connections, and I ended up becoming a part of the Equestrian Daily staff. So everything's really, really opened up for me, and I hope that I just keep going up. Just going on one crazy adventure, and ponies really did it for me, because I'm sure somewhere down the road Skillet could have helped, but honestly, if it weren't for the ponies, I don't know where I'd be right now. If I wasn't behind bars, I'm sure I'd probably be somewhere a lot worse. But I'm here, I'm a better man, I have friendship, and I'm part of the community, so.
I want to tell you something real quick. From me to you. I know you probably don't hear this much, but I am proud of the progress you've made in finding yourself. And look at yourself right now where you are. You've made it. It was a whole lot of hard work, but I'm proud that you put in that effort, and I'm proud that you found yourself.
The biggest thing, other than the friendship and the freedom that ponies gave me, the one thing that I got from it, especially from her, she's my absolute favorite. She taught me to be big, be bold, stay true to myself. I hold on to that.
Thank you. So we've had 3 more people come in. Hi, yes, you just got roped into something.
Oh, I'm good. I'm okay. That's fine.
All right. If you want to just sit back and listen, that's more than fine.
All right.
You don't have a choice. Yeah, you're in this very far back. Come on up here. If you two want, feel free to bring it in close. We're not using microphones because I don't like sitting on a stage. We're all bronies here. It's not some, stages are good for some things, but right now, we're all on an equal standing. Alrighty. How are you feeling?
Hot. I hate the weather outside.
Don't we all?
Alright, so this is one of my buddies. In his defense, he did come here from Washington State to be here with us. So
We're just as hot over there. I thought we would have fucking escaped the heat wave this year, but no!
yeah, no, there is no escaping the heat.
Yeah.
Alright, so
I blame Celestia.
This is why Luna is best princess.
hey, I'm just saying.
Praise the sun.
Praise the sun.
Praise the moon.
Hey. Don't be sad because I like to bask in the light of her love. Anyways. Alright.
Can't dance.
You know what? Before this
Okay, we all collectively agree to shoot him in the face now.
Hey, love is important. Love is important.
Is there
Now, it's
season
not as
open?
important as the sun and the moon, but it is important. All right. Yep. You. All right, wait, do you want to go?
Sure.
All right, you're up. You're up. Sorry, I forgot we accidentally passed over you.
It's fine. So I always kind of hate introspective stuff because I always feel like I'm really bad at it. I don't, for one, because I just not very good at reflecting on myself, and two, because I don't feel like I change too often. But so most people here will always tell stories about how the show helped them with coming out of their shell and making friends because they live a shelled life, and that's very true for me. But my problem is the fact that to this day I still kind of struggle with making friends. So when I was in school, really young, I did know this. My mom was told by a doctor, but never looked into it. I'm neurodivergent. I have autism spectrum disorder. This is back in the early 2000s, so it's not like you can go online and hear people talking about how it's bad or good. It's just things most people really talk about. So they never looked into it. The doctor thought I just had ADHD at first, but no, nothing really came of it at the time. And I didn't know about this until I was like high school when I started asking about it. But the point is, I wasn't told about this, and so I always struggled with making connections with my peers at school. And I eventually got myself to this state where I would honestly, in elementary school, make this extra sad. When lunchtime came, we ate in the gymnasium, which doubled as the cafeteria. And so we had the bleachers there. And what we would do is that when all the students were eating at the table, I would get my food, walk to the other side of the room where the bleachers were, and hide behind there eating my lunch. And then when middle school came, I would purposely always leave the line, go with all the bad kids' lunch attention, and eat my food there so nobody would talk to me. And then in high school, I would always find the table that nobody was sat at and sit there and eat by myself. And so I was always in a state where I didn't really know how to interact with people, and I would deliberately self-sabotage myself, trying to go out of my way to not make friends and talk to people. And that's something I still do to this day, and I'm trying to work on. But the thing I think MLB helped me was, and especially, funny enough, Trotcon helped me with this, so this is a really fitting story. Around the time I was Trotcon 2014, I believe, back when we were still in Columbus, I noticed a creator named James Barkley. He was going to do a panel there, and I was a big fan of his Sonic stuff. I didn't really care about LB at the time. I didn't even know the show existed. I just knew about it through him. So I somehow convinced my parents to take me there just to see him. And I missed it. I sat in the wrong room and didn't understand how panels work. I just sat in the wrong room for like an hour waiting for him to show up, and he is doing it somewhere else. And I left really sad. But eventually I did become a fan, and I would start going to conventions for, peak to actually go to the convention. And every year I noticed that the first year, my cousin Maurice, who I hadn't talked to for many years, who I hadn't talked to that much, went out of his way to drive from Columbus, pick me up, let me stay with him, and drive me around all day, enjoying the convention. The following year, my cousin, another cousin, Shania, she went out of her way to pick me up, drive me around, stay extra late, even though she said we had to leave early Sunday, but she missed whatever she was doing, so I could stay for Sunday closing ceremonies. Then BronyCon happened. Another relative who I didn't even know I had offered to come pick me up. Fly me in from Baltimore, fly me in from Cleveland to Baltimore. Although it was on Spirit, so and they lost my stuff. But let me stay with them, drove me around, same thing. And every year it was just that. I never thought about the time, but it really came to make me appreciate my family more. The fact that people who I either didn't know or could barely remember the names of, I hadn't talked to, they were always willing to, at the drop of a hat, if I asked them, said that we're going to do this thing, just help me. And that's something that
I really came to appreciate more, but maybe you want to put me more effort into like actually talking, at least going away to talk to people, even if I can't hang out very often. So, yeah, not so much friends, but it did, help me with family a bit more.
Everyone always talks, like you were saying, everyone always talks about the friendships they've made, how it's grown them as a person, which is always a wonderful story to hear. But this show has affected so many people in so many different ways. I'm glad you were able to find this show, and I'm glad that you're working on finding yourself and finding your ability to reach out a little bit more. I know we all can agree, pony cons, they're different from any other con out there. I mean, I've been to fur cons, I've been to anime cons, I've been to comic cons, and every single person, except for one person that I have met at all of the brony conventions that I've been to, have been absolutely wonderful. And that one person, bless her heart, she was just chasing clout. You know that kind of person. Back whenever the fandom was big, that person didn't really care for the fandom. They just saw it as a way to get attention. That's one thing that I wanted to touch on real quick. As you grow and you find yourself in this fandom, do not go after popularity to increase your value of self. You know what I mean? Like, don't do it to become famous, because it's not a good reason to be chasing after it, because then you're always going to be setting your goals higher. Like me, for example, I don't do all these panels to get my name out there. It's a chance to sit down and talk to people that I have never met before, and to see people who I have seen at cons in the past. Do it as a chance to make new friends, to grow in the fandom, to make people to make memories with, not to increase your value of self. And if you keep that in mind, you're doing it to make new friends, to hear new stories. It will make your time a whole lot more enjoyable, and it will keep you from falling into some of the traps that people who have chased fame in the fandom in the past have. Thank you for my little vent there. But, yeah. Alrighty. Hi, welcome. This is a Magic of Friendship open mic panel. We're all just talking about the ways that the fandom has affected our lives. Fair warning, it hasn't happened yet, but I know that before too long, someone is going to say a story that is going to get everybody deep in their emotions. And it's liable to be me that says the story, but it comes out of nowhere. So remember, everybody, ready your heart, because I feel it coming. I can feel it in the air tonight. Hold on. All right, there you go. All righty. So we've had a whole lot of new people come in. Who wants to go next? Raise your hand. All right, you were first over there, far in the back. Yep, go ahead. Tell us your name. We'll say hi in the true Ponies Addiction Anonymous fashion, and then just tell us a little bit about how the fandom has affected your life.
Alright. I grew up interesting, I'd say. I was a terrible person at one point. I wasn't good to most people. Terrible to my brothers, terrible to my family. So it became a problem when my parents divorced and all that. We all wanted to kill each other pretty much. So my brother, who I also judged and was not very good to, found the fandom, fell in love with it, and I wasn't very good to him about that. I would judge him because I was not a good person. But as I talked with my brother, he told me how it made him feel better. That it hit me, but being as stubborn as I was, I'm like, no, this can't happen. I can't be like that. So then I moved on, 2 years later, and my brother is still in the fandom, and I'm trying to change and be a better person because, the whole family hated me. So I finally decided to try the fandom. And I think it changed me for the better. I will say that. Because watching how, in the show, how they interact with each other, they taught me something, a valuable lesson about how to interact with others in my family, others in general. So that's what I'd say the fandom did for me. It taught me how to be a better person. Because going through everything I went through as a kid and doing what I did to my family, I regret all of it. But the fandom taught me how to change and be better to my family, and they all forgive me for how I was. I want to change it for anything. Yeah.
Hey, I'm proud of the growth you've made as a person. I'm sure we all know, we've all been through very hard change where we've had to correct who we are as a person to be better for those around us. We all know how. Pardon my French, and if you don't like cuss words, plug your ears for 5 seconds. We all know how much of a bitch it is to change the direction of life you're going to, change who you are as a person. Especially, how much will it takes to completely rewire your brain, basically, to become a better person for your family, for your friends, for your loved ones. I appreciate the struggle you went through, and I am proud of you. Hey, look at where you are now compared to then. You made it.
Yeah.
You made it. And that's what it's all about. Alrighty, let's see. Alright, we're gonna knock you out because I know you raised your hand up first. You'll get your chance soon, I promise.
Alright, well now, where do I start? It all started back in around 2023. It was when I was in the process of fully emerging into the fandom. I saw a couple of pony conventions that I wanted to go to. Luckily, I was able to go to this convention because I could use my birthday as an excuse since it's the closest convention to my birthday, and it's also the closest convention to where I live. So we decided to go there for one day, see what it was like. I admit, I was a bit shy, but I still had a fun time, and that made me want to come back here. But I came back here with a different goal, to hopefully make a friend or two, and I admit I was a bit shy at first, but then I finally got the courage. I admit seeing Esbird during the first time I came here, although I was a bit shy and kept my distance. But then I decided to. Then I saw him on Twitter. I was like, hey, look, he's coming back. I should probably say hi to him again. And all that. Then I came back, saw him going up the escalator with his friend Butters, and got the courage to meet him. And then we went to that one panel that happened yesterday. I don't remember which one it was, and got to know you guys a bit more. And I was like, hey, maybe I could hang out with you guys a bit more. And then I decided to go into that furry panel, even though I wouldn't really consider myself a full-on furry, kind of more of a brony. It was nice to hang out and talk with you guys. And I think I can confidently say I made a new friend.
Oh. Yeah, here, real quick before we go to the next story, I want to do a little test. If you came here hoping to make a new friend, especially a friend that could hopefully grow into a lifelong friend from this weekend, if that was one of the goals you had coming here, raise your hand right now. You don't want any friends. Hey,
I haven't yet. It's the king.
You saw, everybody, you saw how many people raised their hands up just then? There are people here who want to make friends just as much as you do. It is so easy. You already, I'll tell you a little, something that I talked about yesterday during the Con and Cosplay Etiquette panel that I hosted. You already have so much in common with each other just by the fact that you are here. I mean, ponies, pretty much, yeah. Griffins, we all love griffins, right? Right? Yeah.
Not your dad, the jerk.
I could fix her. No, I'm joking. But anyways, you know what I mean. We, everybody here, except for that guy, but I respect that. Yeah, you. Everybody here wants to make new friends today. No, I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. There is nothing stopping you from walking up to a complete stranger and being like, "Hey, what's your favorite pony?" And then I'll tell you, "Oh, ponies. I don't know much about." No, I'm joking. So then I'll say, and judge me all you want on this, because I know how much of a basic answer it is. My favorite pony in the main six from the first moment I watched the show, I started watching it right at halfway through season 2, when halfway through season 2 came out. And the first character that I absolutely fell in love with and became my favorite character from now until existence is Fluttershy.
Woo!
I could fix Gilbert. No, it happens. It happens. But so there you go. I'd say, you know what? Fluttershy's my favorite pony. What's yours? What's your favorite pony?
Rainbow Dash.
Rainbow Dash. You know what? Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash are like thick as thieves. You want to become buddies?
Sure.
Boom. You like that little skit? Yeah, improv. Now, it might not go just like that, but
Thank you for the console.
You guys are awesome. But yeah, there are so many people here who are looking to make friends. Remember, we are at one of the very few cons left on this planet where you can walk up to a complete stranger and be like, hug. And you have a pretty good chance of getting a hug. If not, then they're like, sorry, I have sensory issues, or I'm not really feeling it right now. But that's okay. We accept each other, right? That's what it's all about. So go out and make some friends. Even like when this panel's over and it's leaving, if you feel like you came here to make some friends, everybody in here went ahead and accepted that they're going to be open about themselves. I mean, that's kind of why we're all here, to open up. So that's the hardest part right there. We've already started opening up. Make friendships from the people that are in this room today. You don't have to be alone. Nobody deserves to be alone. And you can easily make a long-lasting friendship from the simple fact of opening up today and then walking up to somebody as we're leaving and saying hi. So I wanna set that as a challenge. Pick one or two people in this room and try and make friends. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but hey, you tried. That's the important part, right?
Yep.
Alrighty. Let's try. Yep. Alright, go ahead and stand up. Tell us your name, and then we'll say hi, your name, like we're in Alcoholics Anonymous, and then tell us how the fandom has affected you in your life.
And the thing is, when my little pony came out, I was really young. I was like 2 years old. So I don't remember like when I first started watching it, but I remember getting back into the fandom after in like 2022. Because I remember when the show went on, that was emotional, and I'm still trying that.
Yes.
In 2022, 2022, I saw a TikTok. I started watching Rainbow Rocks. I'm like, I should just finish watching all the superheroes movies. So then I know I got myself into My Little Pony again.
Yeah, it's just one taste of My Little Pony and you're addicted, right?
Yeah. I was like, I thought it was too old, but then I realized there's so many fans that are my age and older. And I felt a lot better. And I was heavily depressed at the time, and it really helped me through my depression. Saved me, kind of. And I've met lots